Aboru Aboye, divine greetings to you all. Today's topic, the many faces of Ifá. Recently, I posted on my page the Henry Dilogun version of Ifá, the Odus of Henry Dilogun Ifá. And a lot of people had some feedback on this is something that they don't normally see. And I know that a lot of people don't post things like that. But I'm a spiritual teacher and I am an initiated priestess. And I'm a Yoruba woman. And part of my calling is to share knowledge so you all can make educated decisions with your spiritual selves and your spiritual journey. The many faces of Ifá. In Ifá cosmology, Ifá spirituality, and Ifá as a philosophy, we have multiple areas of Ifá. Those multiple areas is not widely known. Many people think Ifá is just about doing Ebo and Orisha, which is not so. Ifá is a concept widely known for multiple things. In Ifá teaches us universal principles. It teaches us universal principles of divine creation as relative to Ori and destiny. It also teaches us divine order, understanding the mysteries of the universe, how the world came into existence in the eyes and in the lens of the Yoruba ancestors. Over the course of time, religions, traditions, even through the transatlantic slave trade, Ifá has taken many forms. When our ancestors were taken as slaves, Ifá was reborn here in the diaspora as a melting pot of traditions and religions because of the oppression of the slave masters. That is where you see the birth of Ifá as Lukumi Santeria, a mixed fusion of different tribes and races come together, but the one thing they have in common is our blackness. So what do I mean by what did they have in common? Because they took slaves from Central Africa, West Africa, and different countries within West Africa. Nigeria, more specifically, they took them from Benin, Lomé, took slaves from Senegal, this is another part of Africa, took slaves from Togo, which is West Africa, they took slaves from all kinds of countries, different tribes, and when they made it over to the diaspora in the US and UK, there were so many different tribes, different belief systems that was now combined as one because people under oppression would come together as one to come up with something that will help them ease the pain of the oppression, what they felt. So the religion transformed over the course of the past 500 years. But we'll have you know that the mysteries of Ifá and our ancestral spiritual systems is what helped our people to come out of slavery, which people like us are enjoying today. Ifá as divine consciousness. When you hear the word, I know you've been hearing this thrown around a lot, the word divine consciousness, or the sentence, the phrase means understanding that everything has its vibration, everything is alive in its own form. You don't see the flower talking physically, but a flower blossoms. You don't see the plant talking physically, but it has its own energy. It has its own way of communicating with the universe. And that's when we take herbs and tree barks. We use them and they tend to heal you. Divine consciousness is understanding that you can put a bucket of water out there when it's really hot and it will heat up the water. You can set your crystal stones outside by the moon at night. And the moon will charge your crystal stones. Understanding divine consciousness for what it is, that everything has its own music. Everything has its own sound. And every animal, everything, every place, every element. Understanding that all the cells in your body have its own role to play in the cosmic saga. Ifá is a science. It is from Ifá we have binary coding, 011. It's also from Ifá we have metaphysics. From Ifá we have neuroscience. From Ifá we have the study of philosophy, ethics. We have the herbs, plants, understanding herbalism. From Ifá lets us know that your destiny, your purpose mirrors the universe. Ifá teaches you about your Ori as your destiny. That's my son. See, that was my son. Ifá has its own rhythm. When you are reaching out to me, I am not one of those spiritual teachers or babalawo or yanifa or yeye that you think that you just need to reach out to me and you want to appease Ogun or Shango to solve your problems. No. If you're not ready to learn, if you're not ready to understand how you can make a change in your own personal life, understanding Ifá is part of the cosmos. I am not the person for you. You need to know how to fix your life. There are teachings and understanding that Olódùmarè put you here for a purpose. Understanding your purpose. Human life mirrors the cosmos. When you look at a seashell, I don't have one with me. I'll get one. Here's this orange peel. Should remind you of the sun with its rays. It's so bright and beautiful. Here's a fossil of a snail shell. Very old. I got it from the magic store. Doesn't this remind you of the universe? Like the black hole. If you study science, you know exactly what this looks like. The spiral. Look at this one. This should remind you of a volcano erupting. Okay? But then this place is so smooth. The color didn't come down here. And these are all stuff from nature. You can study Ifá with metaphysics, with neuroscience, computer science. You can study Ifá with nature. You can study Ifá with destiny, spirituality. You can study Ifá as a spiritual system. You can study Ifá in so many ways. So do not be limited to what you see. And everybody receives Ifá in a different way. You have to understand if you're called to the elements through Ifá, elemental magic, or you're called to Orisha through the Orishas, or you are called to study it, to further do the research in Ifá, to further the knowledge. Don't be fooled by what you see. Everything is all about Ebo. You need to do Ebo, and some are called to Ifá where you're only really supposed to work on your Ori. Your Ori is your guide. Know the path of Ifá you are called to. Okay? Don't let anyone manipulate you. Ire o.